Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So we are back in the John Deere 9300, but we've got something a little different behind it. Instead of a bean planter, we've got a tile planter. Well, really, I guess any kind of planter that you want to shove through its boot and put it in the ground. But anyways, I know I shared a little community post asking what you thought we were going to do, and there was some really good answers, but didn't actually come up with exactly what we're going to do. So let's get started down here. Josh is following me in with my truck and the little Micro Richard, the 17 Z9A Hyundai mini excavator. He's got that with him, and we're going to use that to do a little digging, and we'll get started here. So can you guess in the comments what we're about to do? What we're about to put across this field, and it's not tile. Alright, so here's the plow. We got it all hooked up. It is a Librick tile plow. How are you doing today, Josh?
Living the dream.
Living the dream? Enjoying being back with us, working for a little bit?
I actually do enjoy that quite a bit.
Yeah, I enjoy you being around too.
I think I'm just going to do it for free, hang out.
Yeah, well, you bring some comedy to the channel also. That clip's a little hard to get out, ain't it? Yeah. Oh, you're going to have to narrow them up, because look how dinky he is. Anyways, here's what we're going to be using. So we are going to be using this small boot on it, because we don't need a very big boot. So I believe that is the 4-inch tile boot. And we're not going to be using any laser. What I'm going to be using is this chain here, because I want to follow the contour of the ground to keep the depth that I want. So I'm going about 3 foot deep is what I'm after. So with the laser, this thing will follow grade and everything else. It will do level, do whatever you want. But for this application, I'm going to be just manually controlling it up there in the cab with the console. There's a toggle switch I go up and down with. And to get it to go in or out, that cylinder right there changes the pitch of the shank, and that's what sucks it in or pulls it back out. So, all right, let's get started. Well, if your guess was we were putting in some big wire, you were right. This is one of those big awkward rolls that's super heavy. We're trying to get it picked up and put it on our wire unroller on the trailer there. So George is going to get some more rigging. I got it picked up, but I can't lift it high enough with the combination of what we got. We can only really use nylon straps because we don't want to damage the coating of the wire. Well, that time we got it. I'll just carry it over there and I'll put it on the trailer. So this is irrigation wire. It's going to run all the way across the field to run that center pivot over there from the road here. like 4/0. Alright. We're going to get backed in our slot here that we dug. Center of the pivot where we want to be. Should be good right there. Alright, we'll go ahead and drop our plow in. Get our shank where we want it. There we go. Aim it down just a little bit so we take off, we get some suck down. Alright, we're ready to plow. We just got to get our wire put through the boot. We're ready to go. Well, we're getting the wire threaded down through there and getting it pulled up. So they got plenty of wire to hook it up in the boxes when those get put in. So as you can see, down there in the bottom of the trench, got about 3 foot deep or so. Should be good. So what I'll do is, as I go, I'll just dangle this chain on the ground here, and that'll just keep me the depth that I want. So if anything, I'll keep it a little deep. That way I got a little chain dragging. It's not gonna hurt if we go a little deep. I'd rather have it deeper than shallower. So we should be good. I know at 3 foot, not really gonna get into it with anything unless you get a ripper out here stuck or something like that. But at 3 foot, you'd have to get pretty crazy to get that deep to get this wire. All right, so we'll get this one done, and we got one more we gotta go do.
Shouldn't go anywhere, but
it pitches the shank so it rides up out of the ground. When I go down with the toggle switch, it pitches the shank down and sucks it in. And I just sit here and I watch that one chain dangling there, and that's how I judge the depth. Like right now we're a little over depth, but that's okay. I'd rather have it deeper than shallower. If you watch, them legs on the plow move independently, and that's what keeps the plow straight, so it's not leaning too far one way or the other. It needs greased. They sound a little dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and bump it up a little bit. It doesn't take much, maybe like 3/4 of an inch of movement in that cylinder on the shank, and it'll start to come up. You gotta go a little ways first, but it will eventually start coming up. So, if we had the laser all hooked up, it would all be automatic because it'd be chasing a laser beam that's projected across the field. But being we're using it manually, I have to control it. But by manually controlling it, I can follow the contours of the field and maintain my 3 foot. If we were trying to do just level or some sort of grade, we would be going through the sand hills and coming out the sides of the sand hills, not actually going down through and maintaining our 3 foot. So, just kind of following the topography of the ground. I need to go down a little bit, so I'm going to hit the toggle switch down. It's going to suck it back in. Go up just a touch. So once we get to the pivot pad, I'll have to stop and I'll have to remove the boot off the plow. And then we'll use Micro Richard to dig the rest of the way, which George is heading there right now with him. This sure saves a lot of time versus digging all this in with the 220 with the 24-inch bucket. And plus, this field is planted right now, so the less impact you can make on it, the better. And as you can see behind us, it doesn't look like we really did anything out here. Josh is going to go ahead and zoom a little bit so you can kind of see behind us. Might just run down that with the tractor tires and probably push it back down. Now I'll tell you a little movie magic right now. I said we were going to go do the next one next. Well, we actually already did that one today because we wanted to go for a trial run before we did a video, because this is the first time I've ever really tried this plow out. And we pre-ripped that one just to make sure everything was going to go. That's why in that short video you're going to see that it's already disturbed. I just done a pre-rip just to make sure that the tractor was going to pull it all right. When we got to the muck spots, we weren't going to spin out or anything like that. Because once you put that wire through that boot, you're committed. It's not like tile where you can just cut it, pull it out of the boot, and splice it back together. This wire, the name of the game is to get the full length in the ground without any splices or anything like that. Because it can very easily burn out underground if a splice is not done properly. So we try to make it one length and one length only. So that's why we kind of went with that trial run, just to make sure everything was going to be okay. I hate to imagine what that roll of wire probably was. There's probably close to $8,000-9,000 on that one roll that we're just putting in right now. So we have to get it right. So far, knock on wood, all the rolls of wire that we put in, we only had one problem with one roll. That was because some crackhead come at night and sliced the coating thinking it was copper wire and realized it was aluminum. Luckily that morning, I rubbed my hand on the wire where it's coming off the spool, and I felt it catch my glove, and I realized somebody had taken a knife and sliced through the coating. So luckily it was kind of at a county road. We were just getting ready to cross the night before, and they came and they spliced it. And I think we put like a box or something above ground with the splices in it, so it wasn't an underground splice. It was out in the field. Luckily, we were able to make it work. But yeah, you got to watch your wire. People think that it's copper, and it's really not. It's just aluminum wire, so it really isn't worth much. All right, so we're getting to the point where we're gonna have to stop, graze out, and then we're gonna have to dig the rest of the way. Probably gonna have to stop at the next 10 or so feet because I gotta go a little ways to get the shank out. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove that bolt. And the bottom of that boot, actually you can see them right here. They sit in a kind of like a drawbar down there in the bottom of the shank here. So what we'll do is we'll take this bolt out. We'll pull this back and we'll pick it up a little bit, and that'll get that up out of that hole, and then I can pull the plow forward, and then we'll get around behind it with Micro Richard, and we'll dig out, and we'll get that boot slid off of the wire. Someday when I have some time, I'm going to make an actual removable back boot so that you could pull the wire right off the back of the boot like a normal trencher for wire or something like that. So, but until I get time to do that, we're going to do it this way, and it works. It worked on the other one. So, all right, Dad's got the tools. Scooter's got the chain. We'll get this out, and I'll get it pulled out. Ching. Yeah. Whoa. There we go. It's on. Stop. Well, it's not ideal, but it works. Until we can redesign a boot, but usually we don't have to run this much extra wire through. The reason it's got to go along the ditch and over to a pump yet. It's going to have to dig that anyways with an excavator. Because I can't get around behind the pivot with the plow. Well, we'll go ahead and throw this boot back on the tile plow. Then it's all put back together. It's all dug in and backfilled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get on this and drive on it and try to mush it back down through the field here. I'll go on this side. Just kind of pat it back in a little bit. By the time the irrigation runs over it, waters it, it'll mellow back out by fall. Turned out real nice, very little disturbance. Yeah, that looks good after you drive over it. My friends Ricky and Kevin and Bobby, they're the ones that built the giant plow for his Kevin's tile plow. Built a big moldboard plow for it, and I've got a video of that. I can't remember what I call it, world's biggest plow or something like that. But they originally owned this tile plow, and they came out and helped me get started. They came yesterday afternoon, and we got it all hooked up, and Kevin helped me make sure everything was going to work laser-wise, and it all did, but we realized we didn't need the laser for this. And then they came this morning because they live just down the road, and they just wanted to see how it was going to go. So thank you guys for coming out and giving us a hand. Ricky actually brought their trench closer that they use when they tile, and he covered up the trench that we made on that other one. Since we pre-ripped it, we moved quite a bit of dirt. So he covered that up for me. Looked real good after he's done. That trench closer he's got does a real nice job. It's actually for pivot tracks, but it works for tile plows too. Alright, we're going to head back to the shop with the tractor. Dad's going back with my Mini. We're going to get the dump truck. We're going to get some stone. And we're going to go cut through a road so we can run our irrigation pipe over to this pivot on the other side of that big ditch. We're up to the road, but we need to go from the road on across the field to the ditch, and then there'll be a pipe that bridges the ditch, and then we'll get on this side and put some more pipe in for a short ways. So we're going to do that yet today, and we'll do that in this video. We got to get saw and cut through the road. It's just a county paved road. We're going to cut, probably 30 inches wide so I can dig through it, and then we'll get the pipe laid through and get it backfilled. Well, let's get putting some pipe in. Oh, it's been a while. I parked the 220 the day before plow day, and this is the first time I've been back to it. We've been farming and everything else. We've had such good weather, we haven't had much downtime to do any excavating work. So, and this wasn't a real pressing job because the pivots weren't up yet. So, let's get back at laying some pipe if I remember how to run the old girl. Well, I guess I shouldn't say we haven't done any excavating since plow day. We just used other machines. We used the 270 to do some things, and we used little Richard to do a few things. The EX60 little Richard. Get over here, we'll get lined up, and we'll continue on with our pipeline. Gotta get through that road. Oh, I didn't think we brought the chalk line. They grabbed my chalk line. Where they found that? I thought that was in my shop. Strange things. Unless they went to my shop this morning and I didn't realize it at some point. Alright, let's get over here and get at it. Gonna get that road cut open. Probably not real thick. Probably only about 3 inches thick at most, I would say. If we cut it, then we're not peeling it open. If it was wider like a culvert crossing, I'd just perforate it with the teeth and rip it out, but being we're trying to keep this narrow, we need to get one of them carts for that saw. Alright, we're going to take off from where we left off. So when we go through the road, we want to be about 5 foot deep. So if they put in utilities, we'll be above them. So about 5 foot deep is about nipple high on scooter. We measured it. So we'll get cleaned out in front of our board that we put in here to plug the end. So no coons or rabbits or anything like that got in our pipe. There's some sandy ground here, that's why they're putting irrigation on it. Water running out of my thumb. An inch of rain really accumulated places. Well, let's rake that down a little bit. I smell something burning. I better go take a check. Well, after a quick investigation, I think some birds are actually down in the muffler. Because if you shut it off, there's a little smoke coming out of it. It's in the pipe.
Yeah, when you started it, blew out bird nest.
Okay.
It didn't blow it all out, but it
Alright. Well, as long as it's in the muffler, it can't get anything else on fire. So we don't have to really worry too much. I guess we should have covered the exhaust while it sat. Darn birds. Smells kind of bad. Hard to tell what's in there. Barn swallows or something stupid like that. Well, we're up to the road now. Go ahead and peel this asphalt out. Sitting on the crown of the road and things are not very even. Stuff is not very thick, as you can see. Not thick at all. Yeah, that's the road. There might be a little more down here. Yeah, there's some sort of, looks like railroad stone down in there. We'll reuse this. We'll put clean sand over our pipe. We'll reuse some of that. And then we got, in the dump truck there, we got some fresh limestone we'll put in. There we go. Back forward a little bit here. That didn't work so well. The road's so thin it actually caved in. I would have really thought it'd be a little thicker than that. nothing I'm gonna do about that.
Yeah, I'll just dive in there. Plan the rest of my corn.
What did he say? What did he say?
I dive in there this morning to plant the rest of my corn so I don't look like an asshole.
Yeah. It's just gonna cave in. Get that pipe in before it caves in too much. It's literally a dirt road that they probably just put stone on and sprayed tar on it. They called it asphalt years ago. There's something down there. Well, we're through the road, so now it's smooth sailing from here on out. Get back to shallow up a little bit. Not to be so deep in the ground. Chase this hill down as I go down into this low spot. The water is pumped through this, so it doesn't matter if it's up and down or not. It's not like tile where it relies on the grade to run the water out. This gets pressurized. Bottom of the valley now, so we can start leveling out a little bit. Stuff just gets stuck in there. The rest is done this afternoon, but our main goal is to get the road cut, get through the road, get on the other side. We met our goal. So from here on out, whatever we gain is definitely a plus. We got 28 acres of corn left to plant, and then we're done farming for the spring other than spraying. we end up. All right, well, we made it up to the next top of the next ridge, and that's a good stopping point for the night. Even though Josh doesn't want to stop, he's a little upset that we're stopping, aren't you?
I think we should go until we're done.
No, we're not going to get done today, anyways. We got
It's dark till 9 o'clock.
we got quite a ways to go.
Well, I go do my own thing.
All right, go plant some corn or something. He's got corn to plant. And Scooter's got some people looking at some lawnmowers, so it's a good stopping point. And it's Friday night, right? So, anyways, huh?
It's time to drink.
I don't know, it's Friday.
It is Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. It's time to go have some margaritas.
It's a nice cold.
Yeah, I don't drink margaritas, though.
I got drinks. I don't.
Oh, do you? All right. Well, this is a good point to stop at, so thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it. We'll see you all in the next one. Have a good evening or a good morning, wherever you're at. And if you want to subscribe, go ahead. If you want to like, go ahead and do that, too.